Ichigo Kurosaki, a high school student whose eyes can see ghosts. Ichigo becomes a substitute Soul Reaper or God of Death, and his goal is to become as strong as he needs to be to protect his friends and defend the Soul Society. After meeting a Soul Reaper named Rukia, his life changes forever as she passes her power onto him, and the strength he achieves is out of this world. Ichigo battles against hollows, which are evil spirits born from human souls lingering in the living world after death and becoming corrupted by negative emotions, similar to how cursed spirits are born in Jujutsu Kaisen. After Rukia is arrested and taken back to the Soul Society for violating their laws by transferring her power to a human, Ichigo along with his friends travel to the Soul Society to rescue her. They face off against powerful Soul Reaper captains and lieutenants, uncovering deep-seated conspiracies and betrayals within the ranks of the Soul Society. This arc introduces captains like Byakuya and Kenpachi, as well as the Soul Society's Loki, Sosuke Aizen. Within the Soul Society arc, Ichigo takes on Zaraki, a captain-level threat who is the strongest fighter in the 11th Division, earning him the title Kenpachi, and Ichigo was able to take on this monster even before obtaining his Bankai. But of course, Kenpachi is holding back the amount of strength he possesses in the living world due to the entire world itself not being able to handle his spiritual pressure alone. Spiritual pressure is a measure of one's spiritual power which can vary among individuals based on their innate abilities, training, and level of spiritual awareness, or the equivalent of Ki in Dragon Ball or Chakra in Naruto. After connecting with his Zanpakuto spirit and training with Yoruichi, Ichigo was able to unlock a spiritual weapon from his soul-made manifest that will write his name in the history books of the Soul Society forever. His Bankai. With Ichigo being so strong that he can block an Amp Sokyoku, which is a Soul Reaper execution device that was stated to be able to not only destroy the Serite, but the entire Soul Society itself. With the Soul Society having its own day and night cycles, as well as in Tozen's backstory, we see 162 stars in the sky. Yes, I counted all of them. And even Mugen, that is stated to be infinite in size, and I'll link a video explaining why it's literally infinite and not just vastly great in the description. With this realm being contentious as it's emphasized by its function as a prison facility overseen by the Soul Society's governing bodies, such as the Central 46 and the Gotai 13. However, this realm is stated to be cut off from the outside world, but the way that I see it, Mugen is located within inside the Soul Society dimension, but it is isolated and difficult to access from within regular areas of the Soul Society. So while it is part of the overall dimension of the Soul Society, it is effectively cut off and inaccessible to most beings within that dimension. Think of it like a secure facility deep within a country's borders. It is still part of the country's territory, but it is isolated and heavily guarded, making it challenging for regular citizens to access it. This is even backed up by the statement that Kenpachi was granted permission from the Captain Commander to access the realm. This implies that Mugen is indeed part of the Soul Society, but is isolated and tightly controlled, requiring specific authorization for entry. However, you're free to interpret this any way you like. And Ichigo can block power that can wipe all of this away. Ichigo awakens his hollow powers during his training with the Vizard, a group of Shinigami who possess hollow powers. During his training, Ichigo battles his inner hollow, eventually gaining the ability to use his hollow powers in a controlled manner by using a hollow mask. With the hollow mask significantly boosting all of his combat abilities, and after gaining his Shikai, Ichigo would be faster than the Nagashionne, that is stated to be a beam of light, and later takes on members of the Espada, which are hollows who gain Soul Reaper-like powers through the process of hollowification and evolution. Ichigo eventually fights against second Resurrection transform Ulquiorra, which is a single Resurrection being stated to be almost equal to a Bankai, which boosts the user's strength from 5 to 10 times, and the second can be interpreted to be the same. After Ichigo is seemingly killed by Ulquiorra, he hears the cries of Orihime. Get up. What will you do, Ichigo?
I have to get up.
Then make a promise.
I promise. I will protect you!
A power crawling to get out has finally reached the surface, Vasta Lorde Ichigo. With this, he's able to completely overwhelm Ulquiorra with power 100 times stronger and faster than before. All of the Espada must release under the canopy of Los Noches due to them being able to destroy all of it, with this realm also having its own day and night cycles. But that's when Ichigo takes on Aizen himself, whose plan is to gain the Hogyoku, a powerful artifact capable of granting the desires of his wielder. Aizen seeks to use the Hogyoku to transcend the limitations of Soul Reapers and achieve godlike strength, becoming the ruler of it all. After manipulating the entire Soul Society, he gains the Hogyoku from Rukia's soul and launches an invasion on the human world, and eventually runs into Ichigo, who's here to stop it. Aizen reveals his true form, having undergone a transformation into a powerful entity with immense spiritual pressure, claiming that he has now transcended humans and Soul Reapers, with this statement being interpreted one of two ways, with the first taking the statement at face value, in which he is dimensionally higher than Soul Reapers, and the other that this statement is hyperbolic and is used to describe his power being immeasurably higher than all of them, which I personally agree with, as this is in reference to them being able to sense his Ryatsu, as you can lower your spiritual pressure. However, it has not been shown that one can lower their dimensional existence, which is why I conclude that Aizen's statement is equivalent to the statement that Frieza's third form has a power from another dimension, which would be hyperbolic and used to describe Frieza's strength being immeasurably higher than his previous two forms, which is how I interpret Aizen's claim. This is supported even more as Ichigo, after training for 3 months, taps into a power that takes all of his Ryatsu at once, and in order to defeat Aizen, puts his Soul Reaper powers on the line, transforming into the final one, Mugetsu Ichigo. With this form, Aizen says to be on an even higher plane than his own, no longer being able to sense his Ryatsu, and with one final shot, Ichigo obliterates Aizen's body. Entering into the events of the 1,000-year blood war, we are introduced to a stern ritter named Gremmy, who claims to be the strongest, and has an ability that can make his imagination a reality, with Gremmy facing a fighter who earned the title the strongest. Gremmy takes on a post-training arc, Kenpachi, in which he creates a meteor that Kenpachi destroys with a single strike, and even creates a galaxy by cloning himself 5 times to have enough strength to pull it off, but nothing he can imagine can defeat him. And in the end, Gremmy turns to dust because he couldn't even imagine winning against Kenpachi. But now the strongest are face to face, Ichigo Kurosaki and Yuha Bach. Yuha is essentially a composite Quincy, as all of the Quincy's return to his body, and his goal is to kill the Soul King and reshape the world according to his vision, and threaten to destroy all 3 realms, and in the process eliminating the cycle of life and death. With his ability called the Almighty, Yuha can see all possible futures and alter them, with Ichigo unlocking his strongest form in the series, Horn of Salvation. The 2 strongest are fighting for the fates of everyone and everything, and in the end, using a special arrowhead made from the steel silver, a substance that is vital and can negate Yuha's abilities. This arrowhead, crafted from the silver formed from a Quincy's heart upon their death, temporarily nullifies the Almighty, and this leaves Yuha wide open. Using the full might of his dual-bladed Zanpakuto, Ichigo's attack combines his Shinigami Hollow and Quincy powers, resulting in a devastating Getsuga Tensho, putting an end to his reign. Overall, Ichigo would scale to Universal Plus with massively faster than light speed. In the end, Ichigo has come a long way from being a high school kid that can see ghosts, and now has strength to defeat characters that can change the future. But there's no future that exists where he's not the strongest, because this Shinigami strength is so great that the only way you can see it is when you die, and you know it's over when you hear the words. Naruto Uzumaki, a kid who wished to become the Hokage and become the greatest ninja in history. In order to seal a demon, a vessel is required, and this curse became a blessing, as his strength is now ridiculous. Naruto gets his wish granted years later as he battles assassins, monsters, demons, aliens, and now even the gods themselves, with Naruto now casually scaling over all of the Akatsuki, with members like Pain being able to create Chubaku Tenseis that can wipe entire countries off the face of the earth, with KCM2 Sage Mode being a form that is a combination of two pools of chakra, one from gathering the natural chakra around him and balancing it with his own, and the other coming from the nine-tailed demon residing within him. Naruto would scale to Obito, who can put up the restrictive gates and launch and tank 10-tailed Biju bombs which have enough energy to destroy entire continents, with Madara, who can obliterate all of the 5 Kage with his Tenkai Sensei that can rip country-level meteors from space and drop it on the planet, increasing his strength, absorbing the 10 tails, gaining large planetary levels of power with a deep forest emergence, with relativistic speeds flying up to cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, as the 10 tails is a fragment of the divine tree that gave birth to heaven and earth, with the gracious deity gates being dropped on an even weaker Madara, with the gates themselves being comparable to the 10 tails that Madara casually flexes off his body. Kaguya, a god whose origins lie beyond the realm of earth, as she belongs to the Otsutsuki clan, a race of alien beings who travel across planets, consuming the chakra of powerful life forms. Kaguya arrives on Earth a millennia ago and encountered the God Tree, a parasitic entity that feeds on life energy itself. By consuming the God Tree's fruit, Kaguya becomes the first wielder of chakra, a potent energy source that would revolutionize the world. This newfound power elevated Kaguya to a godlike status, as she possesses mastery over all 5 basic chakra natures: wind, fire, lightning, earth, and water, and can even manipulate gravity and create new chakra natures. With her presence alone, she can rip apart Jubidara's body, as she has power over the 9 tails that is stated to have earth-shattering power, and she's able to weave 6 dimensions that can contain stars, and even created an expansive truth-seeking orb that can destroy her Genesis dimension with the power to obliterate the entire world and turn it to nothing. Naruto, after just obtaining the Sage of 6 Paths, can contend with the same Kaguya, with the 6 Path Sage Mode being a divine mental state granted by the ancestor of Shinobi, which allows one to understand and comprehend all things at their most fundamental level. As Naruto learns to utilize all 5 basic transformations of nature, as well as make perfect use of the yin and yang release, as he can now rekindle the life force of a person and bring you back from near death. He now has the ability to fly and control and manipulate truth-seeking balls, which can erase targets from existence and even nullify energy-based attacks. Naruto is also invulnerable, as only attacks with Senjutsu can work on him, as Naruto is even seen sealing an enemy that could not be defeated by any normal means, with Naruto and Sasuke creating a 6th path Chubaku Tensei to seal Kaguya that's been couched all the way up to dwarf star level, as Naruto is easily faster than the Raikage, who's approaching the speed of light, and even dodged Madara's Light Fang, which was calculated to be relativistic to faster than light, as Naruto can later battle against even more Otsutsuki with power above Kaguya and Momoshiki, who is stated by Sasuke that he's an even greater threat than Kaguya, and even guide statements that claim that Kaguya can't stand against him without an army on top of her strength, with Momoshiki himself being stronger than Naruto and the last who can seemingly one-shot Tonari, whose plan was to obliterate the entire Earth by launching the moon at it, with he himself being able to do the same with his pure power alone, which was comparable to Kaguya herself. Momoshiki can even cut the Divine Tree in half just by powering up, with an even weaker Divine Tree tanking hits and warping space from an 8th Gates guy who is strong enough to overpower and nearly kill 10 Tails Madara, with Madara himself claiming that Might Guy is the strongest, and even took a 6 pass Lava Rasen Shuriken from Naruto to knock down, with him absorbing chakra from an entire parallel dimension that contained multiple celestial bodies that he absorbed into his own body, with Naruto and base and half chakra being able to hold his own against him, as Naruto would now have surpassed Hagoromo, who can move the Earth's moon through Chubaku Tensei, with Naruto getting one shot by Jigen, to now. After being defeated by Ishiki, Naruto and Kurama need to think of a plan to defeat this god with unworldly power, combining their chakra together, creating a nuclear fusion, turning Naruto into, well, in order to defeat the gods, a demon must die. Goodbye, Kurama. Barbarian Mode Naruto. With this, he's able to effortlessly outclass Ishiki, who is the incarnation of the 8 Paths Dharma, transcending Sub-Sura, which Kaguya herself represents, and stands alone as the strongest opponent that Naruto has ever faced, with Jigen bodying Naruto and Sasuke at the same time, with Ishiki being stated to be on another world compared to him. And even Sasuke, who with the Sharingan can see into the future, can barely see the rods that Ishiki throws, as these rods shrink to the point that you don't even realize you've been hit until you're full of holes at their original size. And these same rods are thrown at Naruto, which he casually catches with a single hand, with Naruto in the last being stated to have near infinite stamina, with Barbarian Mode draining him in only a few seconds, with the same increase in strength potentially being applicable to Naruto himself, with Barbarian Mode's increase being even greater than Sage of 6 Paths, that can take Naruto from losing to 1 Renegon Madara with KCM2 to obliterating 2 Ten-Tail Limbo clones with his Shadow clones alone, with each of these Limbo clones being equal to the original. Naruto can even contend with Kaguya, whose power was too great for Jubidara's body to even withstand, and Naruto did all of this with a single transformation that Barbarian Mode surpasses. Naruto can sense impending danger, life force, emotions, and can even harm Limbo clones in another dimension. He can grab portals and even manipulate your life, as he shortened Ishiki's lifespan from 20 hours to 30 minutes. Naruto would have access to Shadow clones, and he can make over 1,000 of them. With this, Naruto can overwhelm his opponents by flooding the battlefield with clones, and every single one of them can perform a Rasengan attack. This creates confusion and divides the enemy's focus and allows for surprise attacks. Variations like the Rasen Shuriken that can inflict severe damage or counter opponents with specific weaknesses. Naruto learns various sealing techniques throughout the series, allowing him to trap or immobilize his enemies with special seals, and can be used to neutralize powerful opponents or buy time for his allies to launch a decisive attack. They are particularly useful against opponents who rely on specific jutsu or abilities. Naruto possesses strategic thinking, and this grows throughout the series as he can analyze his opponent's abilities and adapt to their fighting styles, and even formulate plans to exploit their weaknesses. Using KCM or Karama Chakra mode, he has access to the Tailed Beast mode, with this being the most prominent manifestation of Kurama's power within Naruto. It grants him a massive amount of chakra resembling Kurama's form, as a massive 9-tailed Kurama avatar, with the number of visible tails indicating the amount of chakra he has access to. As Naruto's physical attributes and jutsu see a drastic rise, as he can cause widespread destruction and overpower powerful enemies, and it even heightens his senses, allowing him to better perceive his surroundings and react to threats. Having access to the Tailed Beast Rasengan, this powerful jutsu combines Naruto's signature Rasengan with Kurama's chakra, creating a devastating spear of concentrated energy. Variations like the Tailed Beast Rasen Shuriken grant him even greater offensive power, and when working with other Jinchuriki, Naruto can combine their chakra to create a powerful collaboration jutsu, with these techniques being incredibly destructive and require a high degree of coordination between the Jinchuriki, and all of this power resides within his body. Overall, Naruto would scale from multi-planetary to star level, with faster than light plus speed. In the end, this kid has come a long way from being rejected by his whole village, and now after becoming what he's dreamed of his whole life, can battle against gods with the power of the sun. It truly is unbelievable how far he's climbed. Can he really defeat gods? You better believe it. Monkey D. Luffy, a pirate on a journey to become the Pirate King and ultimately find the One Piece. Luffy and his crew travel the seas in hopes to obtain it, battling against many forces to see himself at his peak. Luffy's strength seems to increase by the second, as Luffy can battle crime lords, false gods, and even the unkillable creature Kaido. Even before the time skip, Luffy's strength was ridiculous. At this point, Luffy would be stronger than Gecko Moria, who can erase entire cities in a single shot, and after the time skip, Luffy is powerful enough to defeat his entire crew from 2 years ago. including himself, with Luffy going on to learn the spiritual technique known as haki, which gives him the ability to hit intangible things as well as precognition or the ability of foresight, and this is just Fishman Island Luffy, who hasn't even shown a fraction of his true strength. In the Dressrosa arc, Luffy is faced with Dan Chen Zhao, a fighter that can erase continents from the map, but it's still not enough, as Luffy doesn't even feel it. However, once Luffy faces Doflamingo, this is where it gets much worse, as Dofi easily dismantles Luffy's second and third gears, with Luffy's second gear alone being calculated to be a 10 times increase to Luffy's base strength. But now it's time for his trump card, as Luffy shows us what he can really do, accessing another gear, Bounce Man Luffy, Gear 4. With this, Luffy completely thrashes Doflamingo, and after Luffy overpowers their clash, half of Dressrosa has been torn apart, sending the Heavenly Demon back to hell. The sun is rising. In Hokage Island, Luffy faces Katakuri, the first commander for Emperor of the Sea, and a perfect warrior, with the ability to see into the future, and with a win-loss ratio of 99 wins to 0, with Katakuri being able to overpower Luffy's Gear 4, but he keeps on getting stronger. As Luffy's haki evolves, he learns the future sight technique in a matter of hours, to the point where Katakuri acknowledges that Luffy is just as strong as him. And he said this to a base form Luffy, meaning Luffy within only a couple of hours got 30 times stronger, or enough to match his previous Gear 4. And Luffy can stack Gear 4 on top of this, making him 60 times stronger than his initial base state. Pretty crazy. Luffy got himself a boost even greater than Super Saiyan. And with Luffy's Snake Man, he's able to completely blitz Katakuri, but it's not over, as his haki evolves as well. And after 12 consecutive hours of constant fighting, only one warrior arises, almost like the sun. But with the sun, there's always an eclipse, with Luffy taking on the unkillable creature Kaido. All hope seems to be lost, as Luffy's Gear 4 strength is rendered completely useless against Kaido. Kaido sees that even while Luffy is unconscious, he still admits Conqueror's haki and decides to let him live. What's the worst that can happen? This probably won't come back to bite him, right? After 2 weeks of preparation for the raid on Kaido's castle, Onigashima, on the night of the raid, an army of 5,400 fighters, including the Straw Hats, are here to make Kaido's title a myth. After all hell breaks loose, Zoro Kid, Law Killer, and Luffy make it to the rooftop, but they were far too late. As Luffy looks around and sees all of his dying comrades on the floor, he decides that he's done. Luffy remembers all of the pain and suffering that he's seen with his own 2 eyes, and walks past 2 Emperors of the Seas as if they weren't even there. And now it's time to show these false gods the fruits of their training. As Luffy launches himself into the air, he puts all of that pain and suffering into his fist, and he's going to give it right back, punching Kaido's face into the dirt with a full power red rock. Once again, only using his base form, Luffy outperforms his previous Gear 4 strength, with the weakest generation pushing the 2 Emperors of the Seas to transform. However, Kaido's final transformation seems to be the end for this group's luck. In order to preserve Luffy's strength, Zoro steps up and defends his captain, and Zoro is rewarded generously, as he's able to awaken a brand new technique that is able to overpower the unkillable creature. And once Luffy is ready to fight, he's figured out Kaido's little secret. You can infuse yourself with the color of the Supreme King too, right? Luffy is able to figure out how to imbue his attacks with Conqueror's haki, meaning Luffy has surpassed his 4th gear for the 3rd time, as Luffy performs even better against Hybrid Kaido. But Kaido decides to celebrate a little early, as he gets drunk and gets stronger. After shrugging off Luffy's attacks yet again, Luffy has just enough stamina to access his 4th gear for the last time. But this battle is over. After seemingly being killed by Kaido, and everyone believing that he's finished, Luffy's fruit begins to awaken as his heart beats again. His hair turns white as he begins to smile, tapping into something. Well, rising from the grave is the Sun God with Luffy at its peak. The Joy Boy has returned. Gear 5 Luffy. Reaching the awakening stage, this is where the Paramecia type Gum Gum fruit is actually revealed to be the Zoan type human fruit, Model Nika. With this, he's able to accomplish anything he can imagine, slamming Kaido into the ground and using his body as a jump rope. This fight was straight out of an episode of Tom and Jerry, as when he gets hit, he takes the shape of the club, spins around, and punches straight through Kaido's head. But it's not just Luffy that's being affected, as it seems the entire world is under Luffy's will, almost like the sun. When Kaido shoots his blast breath, Luffy uproots the ground and is able to block it, sending it back like a trampoline. With this new strength far surpassing any of his former gears, he gains the ability to regenerate and was even stated to grow stronger the more he laughs, surpassing Blackbeard, whose darkness is so dense that it attracts anything and not even light can escape it. With this being calced all the way to star level, however, this might not be as much of a highball as you might think, as Kaido would be relative to Whitebeard, who is stated to be able to destroy the entire One Piece planet, with the One Piece planet itself being calculated to be larger than our own sun. But this is a highball, so I'll let you decide. With Luffy having the power of Toon Force, as he can warp reality, see into the future with Observation Haki, negate durability with Advanced Conqueror's Haki, manipulate the environment with his Paramecia Awakening, and ridiculous regen, with Luffy scaling above Zoro, who can dodge Kuma's pad cannons that are stated to reflect air at the speed of light, and even Kizaru, who has light speed attacks, with Luffy getting hundreds of times stronger, surpassing his gears over and over again. Luffy's gotten pretty fast. Overall, Luffy would scale from planetary plus to star level with massively faster than light speeds. In the end, Luffy has come a long way, traveling the 7 seas with his crew, and now has a form to make his one wish a reality. But one thing I don't understand is, why would he want to become a king when he's already a god? What's up guys, it's Divine. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And make sure you guys go follow the TikTok and join the brand new Discord server. All the links for those will be in the description. I hope to see you guys there. Anyway, tell me in the comments, who is your favorite One Piece character and what do you think of Gear 5? And tell me in the comments, out of the countless characters that you know, who can defeat the sun god, Gear 5 Luffy?